And welcome back. I have officially finished choking Matt off screen in the split second that it took us to get through this. And we're going into Night Drift.
Dear God.
I don't like that sound. I don't think I like him better this way.
So are we going to? So
are you sure? Because most people like it if I just shut up in general. So
no, we never have.
There's a difference between keeping your mouth shut and sounding like you're a dying chipmunk.
True.
So, ladies and
gentlemen,
gentlemen, how about some Outrun at night?
At night.
Chariot time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah, give it down. We're using the chariot. So yeah, they do a decent enough job. You get points for drifting. They do a nice job of including all the major arcana. And no, Matt, I don't believe they include any of the minor arcana because there's just too damn many.
Honestly, the problem with the, this is why this game, I can most definitely tell, took inspiration from Persona, because Persona only ever focuses on the major arcanas. They never bring up the minor arcanas, like, at all, unless, like, to get, like, in Persona 4 Golden, the shuffles, like, they bring up the minor arcana a couple times when you get, like, extra money, extra points, extra stuff like that. That's where they bring in the minors. But story-wise, they only ever focus on the major arcanas. And it's kind of a shame, but I understand it, because the major arcanas are the most important parts of tarot reading.
I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, like, again, I honestly wasn't kidding, because when I played this stage, the first thing that came to mind was freaking Outrun.
I was thinking that just now. I
just
just thought of that.
Nice. And here is Hermit 64.
Literally. He's just a fucking nerd with a VR headset.
Yeah.
No, it'd be fun if this game had PSVR.
Go ahead. That would be really trippy, holy crap. And actually, somebody brought up that I don't think Hermit 64 is even that much of a villain character. Like, we don't harvest her heart the same way we do with everyone else's. So it's
we just harvest her heart in the cards.
So yeah, somebody said that maybe this is like Hermit 64 is meant to be like a teacher character who shows us the world arcana.
And now we shall be warped into the game space.
Boy, apparently.
So, enter this wacky little stage called Reverie, which I don't hear it as much because it's a very trippy Tron remix, but Matt claims it's a remix of a classical piece.
Yes, it is a classical piece, and excuse me as I have to go kill Jeffrey Wright as a robot in the Old West. Sorry,
I will need to listen. I will need to listen to these side by side to hear, because, like, I mean, Claire de Lune, it's pretty blatantly like, yeah, that is Claire de Lune, but I will need to listen to this because it's so. Is Reverie all slow and like?
Yeah,
floaty
Reverie,
sounding like this?
Reverie is a piano song. So yes, it is pretty floaty like this. It's kind of like Claire de Lune and all that. And I was making a Westworld reference because it is one of the because that song has a huge, like story-wise part of like Westworld itself.
Suddenly I watch this whole stage, and suddenly puts me in the mood to maybe replay Ketzel's Corridors.
Also, afterwards, I'll show you the version from Westworld. But yeah.
Okay. Well, so I don't think we mentioned this yet, but another reason why we brought you here, Celia, was because this version of not this version, Sayonara Wild Hearts also likes to have little nods to 80s anime with like the sound effects they use, like a classic.
Also, the reason why they use Reverie is because, much like Claire de Lune, they're both done by Claude Debussy.
Oh, and I know somebody mentioned that. Yeah, it's out of all the songs, it would probably be my least favorite, only because it's all slow and somber, but it's really nice. And I guess another thing is that somebody mentioned that Claire de Lune is based on a poem that is about like people like partying at a night with masks and things and trying to hide their true feelings behind those masks, which would definitely make sense given the themes of this game.
So yes, Claire de Lune, if you think about it, is basically just Eyes Wide Shut, the game.
all in all, I think between this and Device 6, which I've considered looking at before,
Please do.
except it's a very unconventional game with how it controls.
Here's the problem.
but-
I would say let's record it. The only problem is most of what we're going to be doing is reading. Because the interesting
Right,
thing,
that's what-
because I love it because it's such an interesting idea. This game is visually pleasing and all that. Device 6 as well is visually pleasing, but in a different way. Basically, Device 6 is a mystery novel. It is a mystery story. We're trying to uncover why the main character is in this one place, and it actually is a legitimate novel. You read through
Yeah.
it. However, as you're scrolling through the pages, as you're doing all of that, there are a bunch of, there's a bunch of different things that are going on. You'll see different switches as they are mentioned on the page. You'll see like number combinations and all that. And as you're going through the chapter, once you start learning those combinations, you go back through it to put it in those switches. And then you do
Oh,
certain
and
things.
the
So-
audio and the audio engineering of it's really good. Like,
Oh yeah.
on one page you'll be hearing all this music on a stage, and then when you get to a part in the novel after sliding through some doors where it says you're now backstage, now the music sounds like it's in the distance. Like, they do a really good job with that. Anyway,
one of the
as for the song, oh, go ahead.
One of my favorite moments that actually scared the living hell out of anybody is when you investigate this one doll, and this is the start of like it's kind of creepy at times, but one thing I love is as you're investigating this doll, it mentions the second you read that, like, it times your reading. The second you read the line, you could hear
Oh!
the second you,
Got it.
The second you read the line, you could hear a scream. You hear this blood-curdling scream of a woman, but then that scream turns into a laugh. Like it kind like
so
you
it's
hear.
Jeez.
Well, shit. Okay, who just gulped down that Joker toxin?
Joker Toxin, as well as reminds you of the Great Fairy from N64, where it starts off as
yeah.
a scream. And then... But
There's
in
the
terms
heart.
of this, yeah. So in terms of how this song, what this song is about, it seems to be about, like, this is like the depression and despair point of a heartbreak, where even though, like, everyone's been telling her, like, you know, you can begin again, like, it's a whole thing. The singer is debating if it's even possible, or if it really is that easy.
Ouch.
But we've completed our time here, and now we can move on to the final arcana, the leader of this whole rat pack. Yes, the Death Arcana, because inherently it's scary. It's a scary sounding arcana, but as with everything, as we'll talk about later, as with every arcana, there is a positive to it.
The whole significance of the
Don't spoil
Arcana,
it yet.
the whole significance of the Arcana of Death is that yes, it is the end. However, it is the beginning of something as well.
Yep, and so we'll use the star.
Which is literally a ship, a starship. Oh yeah, by the way, hope you all enjoyed the sailing of Wind Waker.
But no,
It doesn't take nearly as long to get from one place to the other, assuming you don't have the swift sail.
I actually need to play this game. That's one thing. So
I mean, again, it like even if you take it at face value, it's a really solid arcade style game.
yeah, Logan, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I've been, like, focusing, dude. This is like, I want to get all these hearts.
What the heck is Lucky doing over there? Focusing.
Focusing.
Back up, Jack!
Hey, that's my name. The Patrick Star Show is not gonna fail. Wait, what's this giant waterfall ahead of me? I suddenly have my doubts. Oh boy. And look cool.
The
Okay,
great
back to Colin.
downward spiral that SpongeBob fell into after the first movie.
Okay, again, the sandy little nod in Camp Coral was funny. Is Camp Coral any good?
I mean, I've heard so far it's been okay.
I like how literally they had to create an in-universe explanation as to why she's there.
I'd rather that than them try to pretend like it's not weird for her to be there, considering that's not when she was introduced into the show.
I mean, it's kind of the same reason why the original show worked so well. There was always some sort of subcontext to all the jokes.
Right.
Alright. And thus we're moving into the world of the Arcana of Death.
And, behold, as Lightning Boy here takes center stage.
Yeah, I think she's a girl. I think someone mentioned that all the characters are female, but yeah, welcome to Love Dead City.
There are a couple male characters. You can notice them in the two groups that we first fight.
Maybe? I know there was the Emperor who was the deer. And then the Empress
freaking
is somewhere.
Chad Broseph. It is
Chad
all by no
Broseph.
glory.
Chad Broseph. Sorry, we need to get back to watching more of that.
What the
more of
fuck
that
is the
marathon.
Chad Broseph thing?
Oh, so it's okay. Okay, so as to explain that joke to Hype and Matt, we were James Seeley and I were watching Bambi, and
The nickname we gave to Bambi's dad, we named him Chad Broseph because he was essentially the leader of the pack.
and he had this puffed out chest. That's Death Jr. or Little Death or whatever, and they're upset with us.
Why?
Or at least we're perceiving it. I mean, that's again like the story
Chad
is very.
Broseph.
Chad Broseph. Sorry. That again, the story. I like the
Sorry.
story because it is. You're fine. I like this story because it can be interpreted. Maybe the reason why. Maybe this is all in this person's head, and this is like a dream they're having, and they just see death as an antagonistic force, and that's why they're perceiving it to be so like upset. Like there's a whole conversation to be had of like, is this about someone going through a heartbreak? Is this someone who's like nervous about their feelings to confess to somebody else? Is this about someone whose loved one died and they're trying to deal with those stages of grief? Uh-oh, the Hanged Man.
Uh-oh. Oh god, a whole bunch of flying skulls.
They remind me
Yeah.
of the bubbles from Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
That they do. But yeah,
might be the inspiration.
there's all these different like there's all of these like different interpretations of what could
I will say real quick, Logan, was it this one or the next level
next
that
one.
has
Next one.
Okay.
Next one when the boss at the very end, that is where there's I'm serious, they just do a straight up red and white flashing. And I do not understand why. It's very short, but you'd think we would have learned from our Porygon Pokemon ancestors not to do that.
I mean, all's fair, except that was only here in Japan.
True. And let us not forget, as beloved as Hat Kid is, A Hat in Time is, I had to put an epilepsy warning because that final stage of that final boss with Mustache Girl gets pretty like it gets like this level of psychedelic lighting.
And the sad part is you're probably gonna have to do that again, considering our current plans for that commentary.
Whatever. It doesn't affect me. I'm pretty okay with this. Anyway, we're gonna use Temperance.
Well, yeah, same here. But anyway,
I guess I'll ask you, Seeley, and or Hype, and Matt, since you guys have been the more sensitive sissy. No, you're not. You're not sissies. You're fine.
Fuck off.
Here it controls like Res HD. Just move the cursor over them, you'll just automatically target them.
actually,
Try to go.
holy shit, yeah, no, this is pretty much Res / Panzer Dragoon in terms of its aiming.
Wow, you're right.
Almost missed that one. And then you want to try and go for a. Here you want to try and go for a long combo. Try and chain as many of them together. So.
Actually, yeah, fun fact. Res was made by the Panzer Dragoon developers.
Oh, I didn't know that. That absolutely
That
makes
makes
sense though. Now I
sense.
think about it, it does. But I guess I'll ask you guys. When did you guys start first like really feeling or suspecting you guys suffered like were very photosensitive?
I mean,
Undertale.
it never really bothered me that badly personally, aside from maybe a minor headache.
It gives me
Right,
a
but like
very...
to like hype and see.
Oh, sorry. It gives me a very minor one, so I'm not affected, really.
How about you, hype?
Sorry.
No, sorry, I was just asking both of you. Like, assuming you guys are a little photosensitive, as we've been seeing here, is this the worst that you've ever experienced it, or have there been other like problem things, like with Seeley in the Asgore fight?
I don't really know.
Okay. Well, so yeah, this is the one where there's going to be a part of this. The first part is just fine, and it's still a really good song. This the lyrics of this are talking about someone who's trying to like they want to try and begin love again, but they can't seem to find the right words to say, and it's like the chorus literally says that all the words that she wants to say seem to stay on the inside, kind of thing. But there is going to be a part of this boss at the very end that I will demand to that you close your eyes, because that is, I think, the worst part of this whole epilepsy thing, where it just becomes very unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I definitely remember seeing that part for myself and thinking, oh, jeez.
Yeah. Hey, focus.
No sleeping on the motorbike, kid.
Oh, hey, it's the sun. Oh, crap.
Oh, God.
And targeted down.
Actually, now that I look at that thing, it suddenly makes me think back to the sewer levels of Crash 2, where you had to spin those cleaning bots into the propeller blades.
This
Yeah, it does remind me.
This tunnel-like environment kind of reminds me of like what you would see if you had your eyes shut really tight.
Oh yeah, and it gives me mad Sonic Lost World vibes.
I can see it.
Oh wow.
Again, I still think, like, just from the gameplay stance, I do think.
Whoa,
oh
geez.
God!
I'm okay.
I mean, if Sega ever had to, make a knockoff of anything, do one of this.
Again, I would play a Sonic game like this.
You guys remember my whole noticing of the whole Sega knockoffs that are somehow better.
Yeah. So while we're doing this, I'll ask you guys then, from what you've been hearing. Apologies that we've been kind of talking over it, but I'm hoping that the screen share has been more or less showing it. Do you guys have any like particular favorite songs you've heard throughout this journey?
I know you're going to hate me for it, but not going to lie, I love their remixes of Reverie and Claire de Lune.
No, Claire de Lune is awesome.
Oh, I think we're coming up to the point.
Nope, not yet. Not yet. It's later. First
Yes,
part is
beat up that small child. What? Oh, okay,
Oh.
we killed the child, and now for a weird, gross part.
And now for the proper climax to that whole attack that the what was that bird? The Cookatiel does in Mario Odyssey.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're doing good. We're getting through this. We're almost out
Holy
here.
shit! Like, not even that dumb old turkey can spew out as much as this kid just did.
Right. Alright, we're almost out here. Oh. Alright, we're almost out here. But as we're coming up here, I believe... Almost? Yeah, okay, so at this... Well, we're not here. We're not done just yet. First, we're going to shatter him into all of its hearts.
Now shoot him down.
But right here, Sealy, close your eyes right now, please. I'll tell you when to open
And
them.
after that,
It's very
we
quick.
have that.
Okay, now you can
Actually-
open it again.
In retrospect,
It's
it
done.
didn't seem quite as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's still a very sudden, like... A sudden blast of it.
Dang.
But
That's true.
it's
I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Like that was like straight up white and pink that was flashing instead of like white and red.
Oh, that maybe there's an update, but yeah.
You know what? That might be it. They might have updated it.
And we are done.
Straight through the eye.
Death is no more. But all those hearts that we've been collecting from all the other places have now become some weird orb, and it's almost like the fool is either A, turned against us, or B, we need to learn more about... We need to do some introspection to finish off this sucker, and this is a really... I gotta be careful. I gotta wipe my eyes first, because I'm very easily moved by music, like really good resonant chords, really nice like feelings, like it's...
Just like me.
Yeah, so it's like I don't cry too often, but music, like, if it sounds good, it can move me.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
I'm not like that either, but I'm not like that in general, but, like, I understand when it happens and all that. Like, if a song reminds me of something like that, then that's where I will... Yeah, I will...
Yeah.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, the final song of the game, Wild Hearts Never Die.
Where all the Arcana are forming through this thing to try and stop us, or to show that maybe we aren't strong enough to stop it, which is why we need to push forward for one last struggle. And again, I mean, I'm going to be absolutely the first one to say that I don't know if my commentary trying to talk and show all this has been able to do this game justice, but this is ever since I played it, I was like, I wanted to show this project off with something because
This reminds me. Sorry.
Go ahead.
This reminds me of Dark Mind from Kirby and the Amazing Mirror.
I can sort of see it.
But yeah,
Actually, Go ahead.
Yeah, just going back to what you were saying, that's kind of true. Like, because I know like me and James have games that are kind of like this, but I feel like out of all the games that Logan was wanting to show off, he was the most determined to try to get something out of this game. Like the times we were trying to reschedule, like we ended up not being able to, and it bummed him out. It was starting to get to a point where it's like, we will do this double damn game, or so help me.
I mean, it is still funny too, because I mean, like I've already hinted at during part 1, I was the one that steered him in this direction because I played this game on the Apple Arcade, loved it, and I figured we should probably do this for the channel, and I showed it off to him, and well, you know, here we are.
And I've technically purchased this game twice now. I purchased it on Steam and on this in order to pull this off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was quick and damn. It was quick enough. It was a short enough game, and I think the project is really fun, and hopefully, damn, I gotta be careful on that part there. I may need to focus, but if I can introduce this game to some person, I would feel happy because I watch footage of Device 6, not to bash on that game, but watch footage of Device 6, and then watch footage of this game, and holy crap, Samogo, like, they did something and stepped up their game incredibly between games, between projects.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to whatever they're going to work on next after this Device 6.
It's like they had a bigger budget to strut.
I'm curious, Matt, did you ever play Year Walk, or was Device 6 your first Samogo game?
Device 6.
I would recommend Year Walk. It's an interesting little horror related platformer, and it does have an interesting ARG kind of thing going on in an entirely different app. Like there's some connectivity and stuff. But as we're forgot, this is the part where he goes just nuts.
Actually, you know, now that I stop and think about it, weird as this is going to sound, imagine a Kirby game with this aesthetic.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we are fighting a Kirby boss.
Congrats. This was all just the intro to the song, because now we've lost the fool and we need to face our inner selves. And as we were talking about, we need to face the goods and the bads of these arcana, because yes, we've been struggling so much that
now the
devil, yes, can.
Yeah, we're fighting.
Yeah, the devil can represent someone's problem, but the devil can also represent something that you can take possession of and conquer in your own right, on your own terms.
Also, if you notice, we're fighting.
Hey, all those moments of heroism really paid off.
And this time we're going to love and accept them rather than fight them away.
Also, we're not accepting. We're literally our character, the main character, is in the clothes and all of that.
Yep, it's no longer the fool. It is
Chad
us.
Bruce, if you've returned,
I'm in my darkest hour. You have returned.
But yeah,
Chad, was it Brosev or Broski?
Broseph, Broseph. And stop the cover.
now watch out, as I'm about to give you the biggest smooch of your life.
And now let's work on the hermit. Like a movie. Sorry, I had to sing along to one of these bits. It's really good. And yeah, Seely, we can talk. One more little thing with Sailor Moon is that death is, as Matt mentioned, death is not just the representation of death, but also of rebirth. And death can mean like the end of one phase, which just means, you know, a new chapter of your life has begun, which is what this entire song is about. Is that, you know what? We've been hurt, our heart has been broken, but we can heal and we can come back stronger than ever.
And as a fucking dragon,
that we get to ride.
Now we've really started playing Panzer Dragoon all over again.
And through the wind, their words song.
welcome back.
I'll be quiet for
Queen
this little
Latifah.
bit here as we leave this world.
From the shards of your broken heart, the real peril has risen. You have restored the lost harmony of the
Hello, Queen Latifahs.
now you restore and find harmony in your
we are finally able to leave this world, having saved it and, in some ways, saved ourselves in the process. Time to head
Turn
back
back into a
home.
doggy fairy.
Yep, to head back home. Woo. So, as we're getting close to the credits, I'm going to say, again, I've said a lot about this project already. Incredible game. You have any thoughts on it so far, of what you've seen, Celis? We're getting to the very end.
I'm sorry, did you say my name?
Yeah.
It looks cool, and as much as I'd want to give it a try, because the music's, from what I heard, the music sounds great, I just don't think I could take it visually.
Honestly, not going
That's
to
fair.
lie, you can honestly get enough enjoyment just listening to the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. And I'll link that to you, absolutely. Damn. I better have gone a goddamn... Damn.
Aww.
Wow.
Not even that bonus score was enough.
Much like
I've gold ranked the full album. I'm proud of that anyway. Anyway,
And now we get the narration of what's actually going on.
asleep,
let's listen.
away. For years she fell through spirals of sadness and anger until she could not fall any deeper and fell right back into her grave.
And after all that time, we've healed and we're ready to move on and start writing the next chapter of our life.
And become Ellie
So-
from
In
The Last of
song.
Us.
No. No.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
You
I
need
was
to
Lucky
ruin
Jack
it.
20. And this was Sayonara Wild Hearts. And even this song is really good. But yeah. Definitely a huge fan of this project. Matt, what did you think of it?
I think it looks great. It's a lot of fun. I definitely want to give it a try. And I not to bash it again. I'm one of those people that I love this game. I think it looks great, but I am a simplistic person. And that's why I like Device 6 slightly more, because don't get me wrong, this game is great. It's fantastic, but I can think of like 3 or 4 games like it. I cannot think of any other game like Device 6. Because it was so unique in its way. And this game is unique, but it feels like it is perfecting other things that have been done in the past, like Rez, we mentioned, or something like Vid Ribbon,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, limited, runners and stuff.
Yeah, and I still think that this is a great game, though, and I definitely want to give it a try. And yeah, however, if you can't handle the visuals, I'm not saying this in a bad way. If you can't handle visuals, definitely at least listen to the soundtrack. It's great.
It's absolutely, it's great. It feels like you're playing music. Yeah, that's what I like about it. Hype, what did you think? I mean, okay, being honest, like, was there anything like music you preferred, or hang on, we forgot one of the credits. Thank you, Queen Latifah.
And that wasn't just like an indifferent that was just more like a, what's that? Eh.
Oh, yeah. So, what did you think of it?
Sorry, I was too busy standing on the side of the road.
Oh my god, you're never gonna believe this. Oh, there's a freaking dread. Oh, yeah. Anyway, we unlock Album Arcade, which now allows us to, if I were to skip all this, I can't skip the intro. Whatever. This now allows us to play the entire game in one full session if you want. It's only, as you've seen, it's only roughly an hour long, and it's a really nice, as James mentioned, it's a really nice arcadey kind of feel.
By
It's
the way,
very much to this game what the egg shuttle was to Sonic Colors.
By the way,
it's a straight shot.
just to let you guys know, if Annapurna, for people who don't play games, which I don't know why, but if Annapurna does sound familiar to you, they are also a movie production. They not just do
Really?
video games; they also do movies. Like for instance, one of their most famous movies, Her. Which,
Oh, dude, that was them.
yeah, that's Annapurna. Also, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, The Bad Batch, and sadly, Sausage Party.
Ugh.
But yeah, no. Now I'm seeing here. Yeah, Annapurna Games is Annapurna Pictures. It's like,
Yep.
It's like, yeah, they're kind of like being like Sony did. Let's see what else they
Or,
did. They also
or DreamWorks, really.
yeah, trying to see if they have any other movies they've done. They also, sorry, but
Amer-
they did Zero Dark 30.
Yep.
Whoa, holy crap, they did Zero Dark 30.
and American Hustle, and yeah, a bunch of stuff, and they're really good. So
That's really cool. Okay, so that's going on. James, what did you, I guess we're waiting on Hype to form that thought. James, what did you think of this game?
Okay. I mean, I've already said before, and I'll say it again. It's a very solid arcade experience that you can play mostly at one go. Though, I mean, granted, for those that do need it is very much recommended not to play the whole thing in one go, assuming you're not playing that arcade album mode thing, because the lights can definitely get to you after a while.
Fair, definitely.
But otherwise, I honestly kind of want to see more games like this.
Absolutely, I want to see what else. I want to see what Simogo does next, and yeah, between this, Maquette, which is another game on PS5, and the Pathless, I am very much interested in seeing what else Annapurna, curates and publishes in the future. I think they have a really good eye for these games.
Or heck, just the developer Simogo. I'm, kind of hope that they. I am curious to see what else they can push out beyond this.
And then, so yeah, you have any final thoughts then about this Hype?
Honestly, I feel like Sealy kind of hit a lot of the points that I would have said already.
Mm-hmm.
That's a first.
I mean,
really, I'm pretty sure there's at least one other point where it's happened, or maybe it was the other way around.
That could probably have happened then. I mean, all in all, thank you all so much for joining us through this wonderful little musical joyride we've had. Again, apologies for their decisions with the stylistic graphics. It can be a little too much for most, but I do still strongly believe in the vision they had for this. And like Matt said at the very start of this, it's short, but I would claim that it's short, sweet, concise, and it is an experience that they directed from start to finish, and they did not want it to overstay its welcome. I'm kind of stalling and dragging this narration out just a little bit longer because this song does have an end, and that'll be where we stop. But thank you all so much. I was Lucky Jack 20. This was Highland Princess Lita, James Mann, Hyper voice acting, and Ronnie James Koopa. Sorry, just trying to pace it out. Whew. And thank you all so much for joining us for Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Now you know what I go through, man. Till next time, everybody.
Bye.
Sayonara, Wild Hearts.
What are you people doing in my house?